Hey guys, welcome back to Pillbox Movies. I'm Hank, and today we're going to be watching the 2002 Japanese horror movie Darkwater. This is a film by director Hideo Nakata, based on the short stories by Koji Suzuki. The film is one of the seminal J-horrors that emerged in the late 90s and early 2000s. You probably know it or have seen it or have seen the remake starring Jennifer Connelly. This is a kind of great psychological horror and family drama in the vein of like The Babadook. If The Babadook is your bag, this should be top of your list to watch. So yeah, without further ado, let's watch Darkwater. And before we get started, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for more old, obscure, and art house films. Seems like a longer title. Something I appreciate of this era of like J-horror, the kind of semiotics, the symbols and tropes it introduced into the style, into the cultural vernacular. I really like the viscousness of it, the depiction of like fluids, but fluids and the mixture of that and like slowness, creepiness. It creates kind of like, I don't know, you're like wading through gravy. It has a very viscous texture to it. It's actually the same opening as Tale of Two Sisters. When was Tale of Two Sisters? It was like 2004? So around the same time.
真剣は譲らないの一点張りですね。
今さらそんなこと言うんだろう。
ちょっとした質問なんですけどね。前に精神科に通院されてたってことあります？
But I actually wonder if this ties into kind of an anxiety about childcare, about the status of being a loving or doting mother. I'm not sure how it translates to Japanese culture, obviously, but the societal pressure of being a caring and attentive mother that may be placed on Yoshimi may compound and combine with the symbolism of the psychic or supernatural terror that infests their lives later on. But it's weird that the three like J or K horrors that we've covered on this channel, this and Cure and A Tale of Two Sisters, all begin with like a custodial scene. In Cure, it's him, his wife visiting the psychiatric ward. In Tale of Two Sisters, it's them visiting her in the character in prison, or another psych ward. And here it's a divorce mediation, and they're all kind of like tied into like elements of like separation or discord in the family. This is just like a easy starting point for any horror movie in general, but it's worth pointing out. These cute little boots. And I really like this camera height for this scene, establishing that we're from the child's point of view, the child's perspective, keeping it on a low perspective. Ikuko? And similarly to the setup of Cairo, well, I don't know how explicit it is in Cairo, but kind of an implicit message of Cairo is like the atomization, the separation of people into little cubicles, into little holes, each with their separate apartments or each with their separate buildings or offices or cubicles, that this gradual isolation and separation of individuals into these separate like holes or these separate closets is tied into the anxiety of the horror of the movie. It's very modern. It's very kind of urban terror. That's not her hand. Wallpapering over the dread, over the past, over whatever's lying underneath. How much did she pay for this place? I mean, I'm certainly thinking a lot about the Babadook right now. We'll see if there are similarities as we go further on.
すいません。うちの娘こっちに来ませんでしたか?
And these two sisters, as well as the two red lights, I'm wondering if it's establishing early a pattern or a theme, a motif of like doubles and reflections. Obviously, reflections will probably be an element of the movie, given all of the water and the reflective surfaces. The camera is really like empathetic to the girl's perspective. It takes on her subjective point of view a lot. Like the first time we're introduced to her, it's a lower camera shot, and now with her going outside, it's handheld. It's not static in the way that it's been established previously. So there's like kind of an important relation we're setting up visually with the daughter that we don't have necessarily with the mother, with Yoshimi. She's shot at a distance in a more like objective or objectifying or minimizing kind of space. Just talking with my friend. Oh, that's no good. Oh, what is that? Okay, so we'll look out for red too as the movie progresses. Red is the color of the handbag that she discovers, and red was a way of splitting up the shot in the lobby with the alarm light.
結構響いちゃうね。気をつけないとね。気をつけないとね。
And establishing again an idea of like reflections or echoes or doubling. Her daughter repeating back her words to her. Oh no. Ugh. There's a body in that system, in that water system. Yeah, the evil's on the 4th floor. Martin Scorsese's loving that. I wonder if in the American remake, they live on the 12th floor. No. Okay. Don't go into elevators. Just take the stairs. Just take the stairs. Well, that's not good. It's not like at the forefront, but it is entertaining, the different ways they show Yoshimi having to like wait for things, that people are constantly like not attending to her, not like respecting her time or her priorities. She has to wait for the judge, for the building manager, for the for the teachers. And so it's not doing it explicitly, but you're getting a sense gradually at different levels that she's not being heard, that her opinion or her point of view is being disregarded. So they're finding very natural ways to feed into this narrative without her like being explicitly harassed or being hysterical. People are ignoring her concerns at every level. Yeah, specifically the waiting that she has to do is interfering with her ability to care for her child, to protect her child. It's really funny. I don't know if this is the intention of the movie, but it's really funny registering this this position that the movie's taking, this anxiety that's being created. Because I don't know, like have you seen the Defunctland video on line waiting and how Japanese culture usually is better at waiting in lines, and that's part of why a contributing factor to the success or the culture around Tokyo, Japan. So with that very sparse cultural knowledge, it's interesting watching a movie that runs counter to that narrative, that is, or is dealing with the internalized anxieties of that narrative of having to wait around. Yeah, I mean, there's solid connections you can make to this in the Babadook. Anxieties around parenting, the idea of being a perfect parent or defending your child.
Mama, Ikuko, Mama だけで平気だよ.
Oh, don't go breaking your mom's heart. By the way, if you ever see a character like, or an actor doing like a kind of like stroll walk, like the kind where they're kicking their feet, it's usually because they're walking with somebody who's slower than them, who can't walk as fast as them. So you'll see guys doing it with women in walking scenes, and you'll see this actress doing it with her child, with the child actress in this scene. Maybe we shouldn't set the fireworks off on the roof tonight, honey. Kids just keep losing their bags. Michan, Mitsuko's the one who is missing. Those towels? That little girl is so cute. I'm just looking at the way her, like, you know, her baby fat skin hangs around her eyes. She's so cute. I wonder... So, like, there's like a nozzle or something underneath her shoes, maybe? Like, I wonder if that's in the floor? Or if there's like a hose that's connected to her from behind that you can't see, that she's blocking from the camera. From what I can see, I think there's a nozzle though, or a hose that's like maybe at the back of her her dress, because it looked like it was dripping, like water was falling down, and then going around her shoes. It's really none of your business. What's wrong with that? It's a picture of Mount Fuji. There's a... It's really none of your business. I really like this style of this like emergent J horror of the 90s and 20s. It's like really, really not reliant on jump scares. I understand that would be a piece that would be like developed and codified into the 2000s and 2010s, but watching the early kind of progenitors of this style, of this format, they really don't pump the gas on the jump scares as much as they do in the ensuing movies. Like, the revelation of information itself is enough of a jump scare. I'm not sure what the standard practice is in Japan, but I also like how there's a lot of these like isolating incidents where you would think she would have a lawyer with her. I mean, her husband has a lawyer present with him, but she's always put in these positions with these interviews or with these mediations or discussions with school teachers where she's the only person on her own side. It's very isolating. She really should have brought a lawyer with her. I wonder, I'd love to look into, just as like a historical aspect of this, the kind of like history of divorce rates in Japan, which, you know, I wonder if they were experiencing a spike leading up to this movie or leading up to the writing of the short story that inspired this. Wow. The rate of divorce in Japan is 1%? But there is a kind of like a spike, an increase that was experienced from the late 90s or from the late 80s leading up to its peak in 2002, the year this movie came out. That's interesting. But so low. So there's a lot of I perhaps misidentified the specific pressures that Yoshimi was experiencing at the beginning of this film, not necessarily solely the need to present a healthy domicile and a healthy presentation of like a mother, but specifically that divorced women are probably seen as a social pariah in Japanese society during this time, and probably not allocated a lot of services or resources just because the phenomenon is relatively small for the population as a whole, and the elements that create this demographic are stigmatized. Divorce itself is heavily stigmatized. I also wonder if there's an element, I really don't know how significant it would be, but I do wonder if some of the women that have been presented, there's very few women in this movie, but I wonder if they've been presented in more traditional Japanese styles or clothing, and if Yoshimi's is probably like a little bit more, I don't know, plain, or I don't want to say modern, but like kind of like, I don't know, neutral, less traditional in comparison, because she very much doesn't dress like some of the other women that have been depicted in this movie. And in fact, like, there's rarely a woman that's shown to be her age and her like demographic. Bum 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 bum. That's cool. That's cool that the like the side of the lens is actually like greased or fogged up, just to give like a kind of like unworldliness and kind of severity or weight to the shot. Yeah, that's a beautiful focus. Who are those guys? Yeah, you need to get your super in there. I don't know how to describe it, but they've found a really interesting way to shoot this like watermark, shoot this this leak, where it looks like it's moving like vertically and horizontally simultaneously. It's just a really interesting angle. The water looks like it's almost falling sideways, and that's like I guess part of the motion of it, that it's the dynamics on it, on the tension of the matting, is making it slide a little bit before it falls, but it's a really weird angle. wonder if she's worried that she's gonna fall off the roof. Oh. Oh, yeah. The water tower. That's gross. When was that case in America? Guess you're gonna have to climb up. No, that was 10 years after this, Elsa Lamb. This is a real horror for any tenant. The horror of property damage, of having to pay for damages to your apartment. It should really be the superintendent's responsibility, but and I can't even imagine for homeowners. Yeah, just walk away. Just pretend you didn't see anything. It's alright. Shoji? Was it another divorced mother? Or is it a father? Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, they should take care of that.
引っ越ししたら娘の帰る場所がなくなるって言ってしばらくは父親が一人で暮らしてたんですけどね。
松原さん一度苦情を言いに行ってますよね。その時あなたちゃんと調べたんですか？
神谷さんさ。
Wouldn't they complain about the smell?
希望者って結構多いの知ってるでしょ。
うわ、しかし。
Yeah, there might just be a dead body in there.
おばちゃん帰りばっかりなんだもん。こっちの方が好き。かよおばちゃんお水持ってきて作ってたよ。お水？うん。ここのお水はダメなんだって。
確かにここのお水は。
It's crazy that they brought an entire company to like clean up, do repair work on that apartment above them, and they never checked the water tank. Yeah, you really should have gotten the company to check out that water tower. Please. You've handled things pretty well up to this point. I would say have somebody come with you, the superintendent, your whatever neighbor, the Hua Association guy. They should have cleaned that. They should have cleaned that. Yeah, half a year, 2 years even. I want to say that the movie's been pretty economical. I don't know if it's better or for worse, but I don't know. It's like effectively used maybe 3 or 4 locations to express the majority of its story, and like I do think that contributes to the claustrophobia of the film, but at a certain point it does feel like redundant that she keeps visiting this rooftop where she keeps visiting the 4th floor with essentially the same like scene structure to it. Like, I don't know, horror movies are built on economy. They're supposed to be cheaply made and cheaply executed, but this is an instance where I think the money or the production, the movie or the production, like, probably had enough money to, I don't know, get a little bit more juice out of its locations. But why did she go up to the water tower? You gotta think her dad killed her, right? Oh, she went to go follow somebody. She was following repairmen up there, the cleaners. Because you could actually see, you could see the wrench in the side of the shot. So she went to go follow those 2 repairmen, or those 2 maintenance men. Is one of them her dad? One of them Shoji? Because I guess, like, you know, the narrative would be that Shoji killed her, but I don't know what Shoji would have to do with those 2 water tank guys. Ah! Let this be a reminder to you. Never ever take a bath. I mean, that's gross. That's gross. That's like genuinely gross. As a gross plot contrivance, that's grosser than any ghost. That's just gross. That's disgusting. It's been over a year. Nobody's noticed. That's disgusting. I can't deal with how gross that is. That's grosser than it is scary, to be quite honest. This is an indictment on the apartment industry. Just no maintenance whatsoever. I love seeing water effects in movies. It's just fun. It's just fun to see hydraulics. Can't beat how beautiful water looks on film. Get the super! I would hurry a little, to be honest. I wouldn't take my time. Dirty business. Dirty, dirty business. This is teaching the wrong lesson. I hope they don't end on this remark. Because this shouldn't be the lesson that she learns. She becomes a mother to this demon girl, too. She's proven that she loves her child enough that she'll stay with her forever, so she's decided she'll stay with this ghost baby as well. You live on the 3rd floor. Not once do they use the stairs in this entire movie. Ew, 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 ew. I wonder what this, like, ghost baby, this ghost child is, like, wreaking vengeance for exactly? Like, it's terrible that a child died, but, why is she targeting these people? Oh, no, that's awful. Yeah, so she's become a mother to the ghost child. Yeah. She said that she'd stay with her forever. That makes sense. I totally get that. She was looking for a mom the whole time. Because she had her dad, and then she was missing her mom, just like Yoshimi was missing her mom as well. That makes sense. I like that. That's a closed loop. That's a full circle. Mama. Mama. Yeah, and so there's been a repeated idea in this movie that she has to, like, defend her child, that she has to protect her from, like, dangers or evils of this world, and it's reached this apotheosis here where in order to protect her child, she's actually separating herself from her child. And so another child loses another mom. I love you. This poor girl's getting cocked right in front of her eyes. You really do not have to hand it to the building manager for this apartment. This could have been fixed by just maintaining your appointments. I'm gonna make my own grudge. And it's gonna have blackjack and hookers. And it'll be 10 times worse than anything you've ever seen. And now she's back. And now she's a demon hunter. And now she's gonna hunt down the ghost that killed her mom. Disgusting, 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 disgusting. A really nice representation of the kind of rot, the encroaching fears of Japan's, like, lost decade after years of development. the sudden economic halt, the halt on maintenance, the halt on on production, on development, on real estate, all of these kind of like dilapidated structures of a once thriving nation. Don't go in there. You don't need to go in there. But Japan was experiencing a economic downturn and like a freezing of jobs and of wages. Oh, it's completely clean too. Mother and daughter living together. Yoshimi and Mitsuko. No. But like you kind of see that in elements of and you see that definitely in Pulse, but also in elements of Cure as well. Cure's is kind of also in dialogue with a very specific incident in Japanese culture of the the sarin gas attack, but you kind of see it in the dilapidation of the home life and the structures, and it's kind of a prevailing atmosphere in a lot of J horror that emerged from the 90s and into the early 2000s. It just started raining at the end of this movie. I'm freaked out. It's raining. I have to close all my windows. Oh no! It's raining really hard. What am I supposed to do?
昔一個さ一緒なら何があっても平気って言ってくれたこと覚えてる？
I actually don't remember when she said that. Can we stay together? No, we can't.
ママと一緒にここで暮らしていい？
I don't know. You'll have to get adjusted to a different kind of lifestyle. I really love this scene. I think it takes what is essentially like a horror framework and really inserts a lot of kind of familial anxiety into it. We can't be together. That's a really lovely sentiment. I know it's like in a horror context. It's supposed to be like really scary and stuff, but it's reinforced the idea that she'll do anything to protect her daughter. I don't necessarily think that's like the greatest message in the world overall, but within the context of this movie, I think it's a wonderful sentiment. She's not there. Mama. She's not there, but she is. She can't be there for you, but she's trying her best. She's doing her best for you. You'll never know it, but she's doing her best for you. Everything she's done it for you. Oh, heartbreaking. 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 What a beautiful movie. Heartbreaking. What a beautiful movie. Absolutely stellar. Heartbreaking. Ugh. We got you in the end with that hook. It's still raining, by the way. Yeah, that was lovely. Yeah, really impressive work. It's about family. Yeah, about kind of the anxieties of raising a child, the anxieties of being a parent, of being self-sufficient. A lot of anxieties about kind of economic isolation or vulnerability during this time, specifically in Japanese culture, but also for single mothers, parents of divorce, trying to raise a child without resources. It kind of reflects that anxiety deeply, not just the financial vulnerabilities that compelled them to live in this apartment on their own, especially when things are crumbling around them, but also the lack of resources in terms of juggling all of these different aspects of juggling the divorce mediation, finding a job, and raising a child. The fact that there isn't one singular person in Yoshimi's life that can help her allay all of these worries, but also she doesn't have a strong enough network, interconnected people to help handle these things together. Because it's shown that her aunt helps her out, and also Fushida. That's a plot hole that I don't love about this movie, introducing the character of the lawyer, and then having him kind of peace out at the end of the movie without really a just Kashida, without any real justification. That's just like a plot hole, whatever. I wouldn't care about it so much if they didn't introduce him so late in the movie, but whatever. Yeah. Great ass movie. Give it a watch if you're looking for one of the old school J-horrors, one of the founders of the game that we all know and love to this day. I think, while not the most technically brilliant of the movies that came out of the genre of this time, I think it has it's got some stronger foundation, like emotional foundations to it than some of the other horror movies of this era. Yeah, that was Darkwater. Let me know what you think in the comments. In the meantime, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for more old, obscure, and art house films. And until next time, keep watching good movies. There's lightning now, too. What the fuck? Oh, no.